Hi everyone, it's been a long time since I made a video, and the reason is I've been very ill. I had open heart surgery and I've only been sewing since this January. So I've been using up all my scraps, and I'm here to show you some quilts that I made for charity. So here we go. This is for, I wanted to get into mini quilts, so I sent off to Etsy for this one, and then you get everything through that you need to make this quilt. All the animals and the flowers and that, and the robin was already cut out, and then you have your fabric to cut out all your little houses and patterns and things for it. So that's the first mini quilt I made, and I'll just put it in here for now for temporary till I decide where I'm going to put it. So that's one. I've got that from Etsy. So that was the first one I made. I haven't actually got it to show you, but the next thing I made was this, and instead of making 3 to make it into a quilt, I just made the one for a long wall hanging, and that's issue 119 of today's quilter if you want to know how to make a nutcracker. There you go. Issue 119 of today's quilter, and I'll give it to my daughter, and I will get her to send me a photograph, and then we can put it up on the next one just to show you how I made it. This one I recommend that you have some experience of sewing, not a complete beginner. I looked on eBay and I got some mini quilt books. Make It Mini, £2 something. Brilliant book this is, and it's got embroidery with it as well. So that was something else I'd never done before. So when we get to the first one, I'll let you know. But let's start on the quilts that I made with the scrap fabric. For Project Linus. That's the first one. That's just a row of all the same colours on each line, and it even goes down to the next line. So that's measured roughly about 40 something by 40 something, and that'll be for a teenager on Project Linus. And then the back was just some scrap I had left over that was big enough to cover. So that's the first one. Again, this is a teenager size, what Project Linus classes teenager size, which is 42 by 42, roughly. So this one I used pink, grey and blacks. So there you go, that's that one. So, and that's just squares. There you go. Some of them, obviously, you just mess about with patterns. On this one, I just put some greys on some square, the corners, and then when you put them together with others, it makes other squares in the middle. Oh, I'll get you into camera, which is just there, look. So it's squares. Some half square triangles and squares. That's the easy one. That's for a teenager on Project Linus. This is a little windmill pattern. As you can see, windmill within a windmill or a star. You just pick the patterns up anywhere free on the internet. That's that one. Again, another short project, another small project for a teenager. That's just got some spare backing fabric I'd have for quite some, well, not backing fabric, any fabric that you have that's big enough. Right, this is where we come to this book, which is all in a row. And again, this was off eBay for £2 something. All in a row by, it's called the Patchwork Place Moda All Stars. All in a row, 24 row by row quilt designs. Just hold that there a minute so you can see. There you go. Right, the first one I made out of that was, take that pin out for it myself, was the row of houses, and I planned to put like a freezer all the way around the room of all different rows. So there you go. So that's my first row, all in a row. And this one was made with Christmas fabrics, so I got them left over, and back if you don't know when you use it, you can make a load of Christmas ones and change your room at Christmas, or ordinary ones for everywhere else. Again, this is back to Project Linus, just stars, and instead of just having, I made sure I had a half square triangle in the corners of the ones that would meet in the middle, so I'd got a square in the centre. That's that one. Just stars, scrap fabric again, and just some fabric that I had that was big enough. And then we're coming down then to the mini. These are the baby quilts. Baby quilts roughly about 24 by 24, unlike Project Linus. Just squares, randomly placed. Anywhere. Borders randomly placed. There you go. And the backing, that was a duvet cover that I found at a charity shop. When you cut it up, it makes rows of spring baby things. There you go. So that's the baby one. These were, I made a cushion last year, and these were blocks I had left over from making that cushion and something else, I think, if I remember right. So I just put them together, put a border on, put the appropriate colour back in, quilted it, and that's using up leftovers. And again, we're on mini quilts. These are baby quilts, I should say. Project Linus. Just random squares placed together. 2.5 inch ones they are. There you go. No particular order. Just what you think looks there. Blocks of 4. So if you can see, I've used 2 black, 2 green, 2 green, 2 purple, 2 pink, 2 aqua, etc, etc. Made a block of 4 and then just put them together. So that's another one for a baby quilt. And again, I've used that as the backing. So again, another baby quilt. This is windmills. It's been a while since I made them, so I try to remind myself. There you go. Just windmills, or stars, whatever you want to call them. And just some dragon and butterfly, dragonflies and butterflies on the borders all the way around. And that's again is 24 by 24 roughly for a baby quilt, using the same backing fabric. So that duvet, or that piece of fabric I should say, and I think it was an original from IKEA, this fabric. So that piece of fabric I got cheap from a charity shop. Came in handy for them few. This is out of the Make It mini book. That's this one, where you have some embroidery on the different ones. This was the first one I made from there. I don't know if you can read it, what it says. Hold it close enough. Home, sweet home. That's the sunshine and house with trees. Now I didn't make it exactly the way they've got it in the book, but that's the joy of sewing. You can just please yourself and design your own using their templates or their ideas. But that's where I got the idea from. And again, that was a cheap book from eBay. And I had some spare fabric. And this one I just quilted by doing lines across. Oh, that's that one. So that was the first one I did with embroidery. I've also got Christmas fabrics that we had left over, so I just thought, why not? So I made one of tree. This is a Donna Jordan pattern. I've done a few of hers. And everyone knows it's very sad about Donna. She will be missed because I do a lot of her patterns. And she's still got, thank God, a lot to copy from at the moment, so that have been left on site. So it's lovely that she'll be remembered by people still being able to do her patterns. So anyway, that's just using the Christmas fabrics up. Again, Donna Jordan. Different stars. I like this one. Looks nice on camera. There you go. Go back enough. I can't get back enough. There you go. That's for a long table. You can make it longer or short. So, again, Donna Jordan using Christmas fabrics up. If you just scroll through all of her patterns, under table runners, you'll see all these. You'll see the ones I'm making. Yeah, I do like them. She was a good designer. All three patterns. Again, don't know where I got this one from, can't remember. Same as the red one behind that's coming next, can't remember. But it was on the internet, free pattern. There's a shorter one with the square ends. So that's the square ends. That's the backing fabric. Just done as in going round the blocks at the front. And that just quilts it. Like that. And last but not least, this is the one with the points on. So you can do those two ways. That's one with the points on. In red, the other one was in greens and greys. This is red and greys. There you go. Free pattern again. I can't remember where from this one. So, and on the back, just some paisley. It looks very Christmassy because it's red. But that's two Christmassy ones. Well, that's what I've been doing since January, trying to get back into it again. And I've got something else to show you. So forgive me shaking. That's it. There you go. Right, you haven't seen this machine. This is a Brother. This is the A16. Love it. Absolutely brilliant. I've got rid of all my other machines you've seen me do on my other sites, on my other videos. Everything's gone. A lot got sold during COVID for people because they were stuck at home. But I love that. It's lovely and fast. So that's good. That's for normal sewing. This you would have seen on a previous. That's my jack. You'd have seen that in a previous video, so you know I've got that one. But this is one you haven't seen. And I've got a Moxie. So I've got a Moxie quilter machine. I've got 3 big quilts that I've done since January, and they've all gone off to the quilter because they're big. I'm still learning. All these other quilts I've shown you, the smaller ones have all been done on here. And the only pattern I've got that I'm confident with at the moment is a meander. So I've got to get on now and start practicing other shapes. There you go. I've got a Moxie sit-down quilting machine, and I don't mind doing the smaller ones on there. When I get more confidence, I'll do big ones. I've got another quilt that I'm using here. Let's just take you over. I forgot about this one. Just put it down a minute. Move these. There you go. And that's a quilted one. There you go. And that's the the embroidery one. That's the embroidery there. And again, that's out that other book. And I use that as a mat. There you go. So that's the other one I made. And this is another embroidery one that I'm in the process of doing. Now I've done some of the blocks, and then I'm doing the embroidery. That's this quilt. That's a stitch, and that's the 2 I've done so far, another 3 to go. So there you are. I think I've caught you up with all my news. I hope everyone's been well and enjoying your Easter, because it's Easter weekend and bank holiday in the UK. So children are off for a fortnight, so I hope they ain't driving you crazy. Give them some projects that they like sewing. That would be good. I bought myself a new mat. There you go, ironing mat, so I don't have to keep getting the big ironing board up all the time. So basically, that's it. I've had 2 new machines. I feel a lot better than what I did. I've been doing out these, but let me just show you something from the future that I'm planning to do. And I've just got to think where I've put them. I found this book online at eBay called Needles and Notions. So I'm going to have a go at that one day. So that's in the future. And I could do rows of that. And this other one, this is the oldest quilt on the of Britain. British patchwork coverlet. So 1718. The oldest quilt is an American one from a few hundred years before, but this is the oldest British one that we've got in this country. It's got all the patterns inside. Because it's classed as historic, that means it's not. People can't say you can't use it, and I can't remember the words, but you can't. So therefore, somebody has made it into blocks. All the patterns into blocks, and then you can copy those into either completely different colours, or you can keep it to similar colours that it was originally made. It was originally made by somebody with the initials. You can't quite see it in here. You probably could if you had the book, but called EH, and the year 1718 underneath, but nobody knows who that is. Come back, and if you want to give me ideas for things that you want to see in the future, anything whatsoever, please feel free to give me some ideas. Thank you for joining me, and have fun.